This is a hot spring, and you can probably, I'm going to wipe off the lens here real quick just in case it's messed up. Alright, this is a hot spring. Maybe you can see some of the water, you can see some of the bubbles coming up. Really hot in this area here. Not quite as hot in that area there. I got used to it there, then came over here to soak for a short time. And the plunge pool is relatively cold water. There might be hot water over here. I'm not sure. I didn't go in that area. But this is the view you get from the hot spring. What a great view. Anyway, my camera and my phone are getting wet in the mist here. So I got to retreat back to where it's dry. Just to show you how much mist there is. That's what my glasses look like. So I'm going to work my way back here. There's another hot spring pool over here that makes a good one. Much milder. Got anyone who's temperature sensitive that can get down here. Or if you're crazy enough to bring a kid down here, that might be the hot spring you want them to get into. But as tough as this trail was to get down, I would not bring a kid down here. Not unless the kid had been on a lot of trails before he got to this one. Because this trail from the top of the falls to the bottom of the falls is not kid friendly. And don't forget, you hike 8 miles to get out here. So having a kid hike 8 miles, then go down a steep embankment that is a real scramble, and then let them get in the hot tub, maybe not a good idea. All right, my clothes, or not my clothes, but my backpack and such are on a rock over there, just before where those two logs cross each other. I got to get past this knife edge rock yet and get down. And because I didn't know if I'd go back in the pool or not. Too much mist, and I didn't. I kept my water shoes on, which aren't the best hiking shoes. So as you can see, I'm being kind of careful about getting over these uneven spots. But I want to keep it running. Get over here and show you the other hot pool I found. Like I said, not as hot as that one that I went into. As I get over here, I'm sorry for the jumble. Like I say, my gimbal doesn't work anymore. So I just gotta hand hold and let it bounce. Now I can dip my toes in the water flowing by here, and it's cold. Not icy cold, but it's definitely not warmed up by a hot spring. It's been mixed in with the water from the falls. This here is the other hot pool, and you see the ring around it there. And you see water flowing into it here too. I don't know if the water flowing in is hot or not, but that is something I can check when I get down there. We got about a 2-foot drop on these rocks here, so I gotta, but like I say, this one is more like might be what you'd call a lukewarm bath. It's warm, but if you're looking for a really warm bath or a hot bath, this ain't the pool for you. So let's see what we got. Put my foot in the stream here. That's hot. That's hot coming out of there. So maybe if you stay real close to where it drops into the pool here, it'll be a little hotter. But you get out in like this area of the pool and it's just kind of like lukewarm. But also when you got to step across areas like that where there's moss on it, it is slicker than all get out. That's why I was bracing myself as I put my foot in there, because I knew I couldn't step down on that. My foot would just slip away. Anyway, I left my shoes and socks drying out right there. This is where the trail goes back up and where I get out of here. Now, as I said, it took me maybe a little bit longer than 4 hours to get here. So it's probably about a quarter after noon now. Let's say I start my hike back out at 12:30. I figure I'm going to get back to the ranger station probably around 4:30, 5 o'clock is my guess. So I left at 7:30, got back, I'm going to get back at 4:30, 5:30. This is not a trail for the novice. But if you're an advanced, experienced trail hiker, the reward of the hot spring at this one, halfway through, is well worth it. The reward of the waterfall is well worth it. As far as having to hike 8 miles, I got to scramble up the side of this hill and hopefully find some perches with my feet, because there was a patch where I slid about 20 feet down on my butt because there just wasn't any place where I could get any traction. Hopefully I'll get a little traction climbing out. While I'm climbing, I'm going to have to put my bear spray in my backpack because I'm going to need my hands free to get out of here. But that's going to be the only place out here where my bear spray is going to be out of reach. And if a bear meets me on the side of this hill, I'm thinking he's not going to be looking for a fight, not in this uneven terrain. But boy, this was beautiful to get out to. Absolutely wonderful. After coming out of the hot springs, I feel great. I stayed in it a short time because I had my shirt off. I want to keep the bug spray on it to help me when I get back. But yeah, I wouldn't have mind staying in that hot spring for another 15 minutes to a half hour. That would have been fun. But without a shirt on, I didn't want to risk sunburn. Oh man, it's beautiful out here. What can I do but give you one last view of Dunanda Falls before I shut her down. Dunanda Falls, falling into a hot spring. Boy, first hot spring I've ever been into, and well worth waiting for this one, I'd have to say. Never been big on hot springs, never looked and tracked them down. Never went to where I had to pay to get in one, probably never will. But boy, for the first hot springs, I couldn't have picked a better one. Oh man, how could you ever get tired of this view?